and welcome to your English news broadcast live on ERi-TV. It's exactly 10:30 p.m. on Eritrea's local time from our headquarters at Asmara with your domestic and international news in brief. I'm Zahra Badouri, but first we'll begin with your major headlines for this broadcast. President Isaias attends inauguration of Egypt Grand Museum. World Olympics Day observed at national level. Iran says agreement possible through indirect negotiations with U.S. And Russia launches new nuclear submarine. Welcome to your domestic in brief. President Isaias attended the inauguration ceremony of the Grand Egyptian Museum held yesterday in Giza, overlooking Egypt's three Great Pyramids. The Grand Egyptian Museum is the largest museum in the world dedicated to a single civilization. The museum, which is built on 300,000 square meters around the Giza pyramids, houses a collection of Egyptian artifacts from various periods of the country's civilization, estimated at over 100,000 items. The museum, which meets global standards, will serve as a significant attraction for those interested in Egypt's rich culture and historical heritage. The inauguration ceremony was attended by representatives from 79 countries, including 39 heads of state and government. It is to be recalled that during the meeting between President Isaias and President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi on 30 October at the Al-Ittihadiyya Palace, the two leaders discussed the further consolidation of bilateral ties between the two countries, as well as regional development and trends, particularly the situation in Sudan and Somalia and the security of the Red Sea. World Olympic Day was observed at the national level in Qurdat on November the 1st. The event was attended by senior government and PFDJ officials, as well as heads of national and regional sports federation. Mr. Mikhail, president of the National Olympics Committee, said that holding the event in Qurdat aimed to recognize the role and contribution of the Gashbarka region in producing Olympians and to highlight the region's vast potential in sports resources. Noting the strong responsibility that comes with hosting the event, Mr. Idris Saleh, Director General of Culture and Sports in the region, expressed his conviction to nurture athletes who will bring pride to their names and nation in international sports competitions. Ambassador Mahmoud Ali Hurui, Governor of the Gashbarka region, noted that the research papers presented in connection with the event underscored the need for government institutions and the public to integrate sports development into their activities. He called for a community-based initiative to produce competent youth capable of excelling in international competitions. The event featured cultural and educational programs marking the occasion, as well as mass sports activities. World Olympics Day is being observed for the 77th time globally and for the 16th time at the national level. Up next with your global, stay tuned. On your global, Iranian Foreign Minister Saeed Abbas Arghachi said Tehran is not interested in direct negotiations with Washington, but an agreement can be reached through indirect talks. In an interview with Qatar's Al Jazeera released Saturday, Arghachi expressed Iran's readiness to hold talks to address concerns about its nuclear program. Retreating the peaceful nature of its nuclear program, Arghachi said Iran's uranium enrichment cannot be stopped and that what could not be achieved by war cannot be achieved through politics. He said that country's 400-kilometer stockpile of 60% enriched uranium is still burned under the rubble of Iran's bombed atomic facilities and has not been transferred to another place. Iran and the United States had held five rounds of indirect talks on Tehran's nuclear program and the removal of U.S. sanctions before Israel launched major surprise airstrikes on several areas in Iran in June. The U.S. forces later joined in the bombing. However, over the past months, the United States has repeatedly called on Iran to stop uranium enrichment on its soil and curb its missile program. Iran has rejected these demands, saying both issues are non-negotiable. On your final report, Russia held a ceremony to unveil its new nuclear submarine, the Khabarovsk, on Saturday, the Russian Defense Ministry has announced. The vessel is designed to carry the massive torpedo-shaped nuclear-powered Poseidon drone. The ceremony took place in Zavrodovsk and was attended by Russian Defense Minister Andriy Balsov and other top brass. He further said that carrying underwater weapons and robotic systems, it will enable them to successfully accomplish mission related to ensuring the security of Russia's maritime borders and protecting its national interests in various parts of the world's oceans. The minister added that the submarine still has to complete a series of sea tests and wish its crew and builders further success. Admiral Victor told the RIA Novosti on Saturday that the Khabarovsk was specifically designed and built for a Poseidon, former chief of the Russian Navy's General Staff. The Poseidon cannot currently be intercepted by any means, according to the Russian President Vladimir Putin. Earlier this week, Russia successfully carried out tests involving the state-of-the-art drone as well as the unlimited range ballistic cruise missile. Putin announced on Wednesday. However, the announcement came aimed at stalls in Ukraine peace talks and discussions of the potential U.S. Tomahawk supplies to Kyiv. U.S. President Donald Trump announced on Thursday that he had instructed the Department of War to start testing nuclear weapons, citing strategic competition with Russia and China. Dear viewers, that is all with your reports, but until we are back with some more news, these are a recap of your today's major headlines. President Isaias attends inauguration of Egyptian's Grand Museum. World Olympics Day observed at national level. Iran says agreement possible through indirect negotiations with U.S. Russia launches new nuclear submarine. Dear viewers, do update yourself with some more news here on ERi-TV. Until we're back with some more news, stay and enjoy the rest of our programs. Until then, from me and the broadcasting team here on ERi-TV, bye-bye for now.